Hey, welcome to the next Strum Method Sessions. I'm Marty, one of your instructors here at JamFast. We're going to be going over our S category in the strum, which stands for seeing fretboard patterns. We're actually going to start learning the beginnings of soloing today. All right, welcome. Today's Strum Method Sessions, as I was saying, is going to be going over an introduction to soloing, specifically looking at the S and strum seeing fretboard patterns. So we're going to give you an awesome pattern for you to memorize, log in your brain. We're going to write it down. Again, we're going to learn this pattern today in a couple of different ways so it gets lodged in your memory. This is my go-to pattern to find out what song the key is in using my ear. This is, using your ear is going to be a totally different video that we're going to be using this pattern in order to find what key any song is in. But it starts with learning this pattern first. So this is going to be one of the forms of the major pentatonic scale. There's many different forms of this major pentatonic scale, 5 to be exact. And then it just repeats over and over again as we've learned. We're going to be learning the main one, the first one that you should be focusing all of your effort in regards to starting to learn how to solo. But first of all, what is the difference between lead or soloing and rhythm guitar? Well, if you know that song that I was just playing, it's by the band The Pixies, Where Is My Mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? So what I'm playing right here is actually the rhythm. It's just the chords. This is when you go to a chord chart website and they just give you the chord charts. This is you're going to be playing rhythm. It's the chords to the song. But when you go to a tablature site, they're going to have specific singular notes to play along with it, and that's usually going to be the melody, which is the lead line. So the rhythm in a band or the rhythm section is going to be playing the chords, just a nice strumming pattern, where the lead is going to be playing that So those are two different parts. In a band, generally two completely different musicians. You got one musician who's up there just playing the chords, and then you got the other musicians. Two different musicians. So I personally love playing rhythm because with a little bit of vocal training, we're able to capture those campfire songs, play a little bit of a rhythm section to a song, learn just those chords, sing that song, and it kind of it completes it for me. But some people want to get more into the lead, into the soloing. And so that's what we're going to be learning today, is that exact little pattern that I was just playing, which is one form of the major pentatonic scale. So you've probably heard there are many different types of scales and modes. There's Mixolydian scales, Ionian scales, Phrygian scales. It goes on and on and on. But the most simplest one is the pentatonic scale. Penta meaning 5. And so if you know your little bit of basic theory, there's going to be 7 notes in a scale. We're just choosing 5 of them. If you don't know theory yet, don't worry. We're going to be going more into that over the coming months. But this is simply just using 5 notes within a scale that sound really good. And it's really easy to start soloing to friends that are jamming. Maybe you're playing with a buddy and they have a chord progression going. And if you want to write a little solo lead line, a riff over the top of what they're doing, this is a great way to start. So again, we got lead and we got rhythm. Today we're focused on lead, and we're going to be learning, again, one form of the major pentatonic scale. So to start, I'm actually going to draw this on the board for you. I know, don't try this at home. I do this every time, and it scares me as much as it scares you. So get your piece of paper and pencil out. We're actually going to draw this one form of the major pentatonic scale first, so that you can go back and reference it later. We obviously have this video going over the major form of the pentatonic scale in our complete course in case you forget or in case you don't have your piece of paper and pencil today. That's going to be actually in the pre-course information. It's even before level 1. This is the first thing that I like to start people out on because we're always referring back to it. It's the Jam 1 video in the pre-course information of the complete course, and it's called Let's Already Start Soloing. But if you got your piece of paper and pencil, we're going to get our pen out and we're going to draw some tablature really quick. So if you remember the video in the past, we looked at the difference between tablature and music theory. Tablature has 6 lines that are referencing the 6 strings on the guitar. So with your pen, we're going to be drawing 6 lines. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we need 4 frets. So we're going to draw 4 vertical lines. 2, 3, 4. I take it back. 5 vertical lines because we need 4 frets. Okay, so usually when you're looking at tabs, I've told you in the past that they have a reference marker so you know where on the neck this is. The neat thing about this scale is it can be applied anywhere on the neck. So we're actually not going to write a fret number on the bottom here in order to associate that with the neck of the guitar, because we can move this anywhere along the neck. Those 4 frets, we can move it anywhere along the neck depending on what key the song is in order to play the same scale. So what you're learning today, you'll be able to literally play a solo line over any major song ever created, ever, just by knowing where to move this pattern. We're going to get into that later in the video. So what I want you to do with your pen, we're going to first write the string numbers. So over here, we're going to write 1, 2, it's going to start at the top and work down. 4, 5, 6. Again, this can be moved anywhere along the neck of the guitar, but our strings are associated, whereas 1 is the thinnest string and the highest pitch, 6 is the, whoa, that's out of tune, is the lowest pitch string, the thickest string. So now we're going to take our pen, we're going to come back here and we're going to put a circle on the 4th fret of that 1 string. That's going to be the first note in our pattern. Then we're going to come to the 1st fret of the 1st string. And we're going to put a circle around that string. We're going to be actually drawing these in how I'm going to want you to play it in a second. So next is dropping down to the 2nd string, and we're going to play here the same exact 2 frets, 4th fret and the 1st fret, are on the 1st and 2nd string. But then when we drop down to the 3rd string, it's not the 4th, it's actually the 3rd fret in and that 1st. Same thing on the 4th string. Same thing on the 5th string. And then on the 6th string, we actually go back to that 4th fret and the 1st fret. So the easiest thing to see right here is once we find the pattern, the finger that's playing these strings and these frets, it never moves. It's on that same fret the whole time. It's only this finger is moving 4 frets away to 3 frets away. Okay? So the trick later is going to be, where do we find that starting point? And then the rest of it will become easy, okay? So we got 4 frets, we got our 6 strings, we've got circles where we're going to be playing these notes on the 4th fret, 1st fret, on the 2nd string, 4th fret, 1st fret, on the 3rd string, 3rd fret, 1st fret, on the 4th string, 3rd, 1, 3rd, 1, 4th, 1. Okay? Cool. So now let's get back. All right, and just for the fun of it, since we still have our pencil and paper out, let's write major Pentatonic. Pentatonic is going to be our scale, the major, also the scale, but that could be a minor pentatonic or a major pentatonic. We'll look into the minor pentatonic a few weeks down the road, but this is going to be one of the forms of the major pentatonic scale. Now there are 5 forms, as I mentioned earlier. Just to show you those forms really quick, we're just going to be looking at this one today. But we got this one. We've got this one. We've got this one. Those are the 5 forms of the major pentatonic scale. You're going to learn all those later, and then we'll learn how to piece those together so that you can do that crazy soloing that you see in the videos. But for today, we're just going to be starting with the most basic form of the major pentatonic scale. So what I want you to do next, I want you to get your guitar out. Hopefully it's in your lap. We're going to be taking our 3rd finger. Some people like to use their 4th finger, their pinky, for this because it is 4 frets apart. You could do that if you like. I personally use my 3rd finger for this form. So for the case of this video, I'm going to have you use your ring finger. But again, if you use your pinky, that's okay too. Ring finger, that's going to come up here on the 12th fret. Now, do you remember how to quickly find the 12th fret looking at the neck of our guitar? Remember I told you about these dots that are on our fretboard and also on the side of our neck over here? So the quickest and easiest way to find the 12th fret is going to be these 2 dots up here. It's always going to be on the 12th fret. Sometimes a lot of guitars have the 2 dots here on the fretboard. As you can see, mine is trying to be a little bit more artistic, so it doesn't have those 2 dots on here. But as a guitarist, we look down on our neck so I can quickly, easily see the 2 dots there. That tells me that's our 12th fret, which, do you remember what note that is? Well, do you remember what note is the 1st string played openly? If we weren't pushing anything down, what is that 1st string? It's an E. And then remember, every 12 strings is called a what? That's right, an octave. And every 12 strings, everything repeats over again. So if we play that 1st string open, it's an E. If we come up 12 strings above, it's also an E. It's just the next octave. So we're going to be starting with our 3rd finger on that 12th fret, which is going to be our E. Now with our 1 finger, well, first let me say our 3rd finger that's on that 12th fret, that's going to be this note right here. So our 1st finger we're going to use is our index finger. That's going to come and reach down here to the 9th fret, which is going to be on our neck, the next dot down. The dots are 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. So if we have our ring finger on the 12, our 1st finger is going to come down here to that next dot up the neck to the 9th fret. So I would like you to follow me along and do that. We're going to hit 12, and then we're going to hit 9. Maybe bounce back and forth between those for a quick minute. 12, 1st fret, 12, 9, 12, 9. Okay, and now we're going to do that exact same thing on the 2nd string. 12, 9, 12, 9 on the 2nd string. So going back to the top is a music reference for the start, the beginning. We're going to go back to the 1st string, 12th fret with our 3rd finger. 12, 9. 2nd string, 12, 9. Let's do it one more time together. 12, 9 on the 1st string, 2nd string, 12, 9. So we just did 12, 9, 12, 9. Now we're going to go to the 3rd string, but remember it doesn't hit the 12th fret, it hits the 11th fret. 11, 9. My 1st finger is always going to be on that 9th fret, but my ring finger is the one that's going to be going from the 12th to the 11th. So starting at the top again, First string, 12, 9, 12, 9 on the second. Third string is 11, 9. Same thing on the fourth string. When we come up to the fourth string, it's going to also go 11, 9. Same thing on the fifth string, 11, 11, 9. And then lastly, the first string, we could see it goes back up to that 12th fret, 12, 9. So all together, I'm going to count 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're all going to do it nice and slowly together in tempo. Okay, starting on the first string on the 12th fret, 5, 6, with your third finger, here we go. 12, 9, 12, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 9. Let's do it one more time. 5, 6, starting on the first string, here we go. 12, 9, 12, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 9. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to work our way back up that same scale. So same thing we just did, but we're going to start on the 6th string of the 9th fret, and we're going to just slowly work up in pitch, okay? So here we go, 5, 6, starting on the 6th string on the 9th fret with our one finger, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 9, 12. All right? So now we're going to start from the top, 3rd finger, 12th fret on that E note. We're going to work our way down, and then when we get to the bottom, we're going to work our way back up in time. We're going to do it twice through, okay? 5, 6, here we go. 12, 9, 12, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 9. Here we go back up, moving upwards. 9, 12, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 12, 9, 12. Okay? Let's do it one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. I hope you followed along with that. Again, if you can't follow along exactly in time, that's okay. Again, this video is going to be saved in our guide, so go back to the guide, come back to this video, and keep following along until you can stay exactly in time. So this is going to be the major pentatonic form that I want you to lodge in your brain. We wrote it down. You watched me play it. You've played it yourself. You're starting to create those roadways in your brain to memorizing this pattern. But then we say, how do I know where to apply this pattern based off of the song that we're learning? Well, the first step, we're going to have to use a little bit of theory here. And if this gets ahead of you, again, don't worry. We're going to visit this concept of theory in future videos. But we need to find out our root note. Now, the root note is the note that the whole chord is created off of, the whole scale, the whole key that song is built from. Now, what I mean by that is if we're playing an E chord, we all know an E chord. The chord is E, but we're playing a lot of different notes in there. We're also playing G's, we're playing a B, and a couple other notes. Let's see. E, we got our B, we got our G, A, we got our, let's see that, G sharp, we have our D sharp, E again, another E, and a B in there. So in the key of the chord A, we're playing a whole bunch of different notes. Sorry, chord E, we're playing a whole bunch of different notes. But the root note is the note that entire chord is rooted off of, which is the E. So in an E chord, the E note is our root note. In an E scale, the E note is our root note. In an A chord, what do you think the root note is? It's an A, exactly. So in order to figure out where we put this form of the major pentatonic scale so we can apply it to any major song ever created, we have to find the root note of the song. So in that Pixies song that I opened the video up with, Where Is My Mind, it's in the key of E. E. So we, using our little bit of theory, we find our E note on that first string. Now, how do I figure that out? Well, going back to what we first said, there's only 12 notes in music. We got 7 notes, A through G. 5 of those have sharps. So that means 2 of them don't have sharps. How do I remember which 2 notes don't have sharps? I always like to think of the phrase, the Shakespearean quote, "To be or not to be? That is the question." The B and the E in to be or not to be. The B and the E are the 2 notes that do not have sharps. So we have A through G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The B and the E do not have sharps. All the other ones do. Okay? So to find our E note, eventually we're going to have this memorized, but if we're just starting out, we don't have it memorized yet. So we got to start. We know that this is an E note played openly, and then we got to count out 12 notes to find the next E. Okay? So if I was saying that out loud based off of the note values and the sharps, we have E, again, to be or not to be, and E does not have a sharp, so it jumps straight up to the F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, to be or not to be. That note does not have a sharp, so it goes straight to the C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and we arrive at our E. So that is how we find the very beginning of our form of the major pentatonic scale. We first have to find what key the song is in. We're going to get, that's a later video. How do we use our ear and some music theory to find what the key is of the song? You can always look it up on Google. So for now, that's going to be the easiest way. If we were playing Pixies, Where Is My Mind? You're going to look that up. It's going to say E. Then we got to find our E note on the 6th string. And that's going to be where we put our 3rd finger on that root note of the key that the song is in. So we're putting our 3rd finger up on the 12th fret for this specific song, and then it starts the pattern. So for this song, Where's My Mind? 3rd finger, 12th fret, 1st string. Okay? If the song was in the key of A, how would we find where to put this pattern if the song was in the key of A? Let's say we were playing 3 little birds beyond my doorstep, singing sweet song. Well, 3 Little Birds, Bob Marley's in the key of A. So if we were playing Bob Marley's 3 Little Birds, how would we figure out where to apply the major pentatonic scale? Same process. We got to find the A note on our 6th string. So again, 6th string played openly is what? Is an E. To be or not to be tells us the B and the E have no sharps, so it goes E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. So again, in this song that's in the key of A, we use our 3rd finger. It starts up here on the 5th fret. So now this form is going to start right here, but on the 5th fret. So same thing, we go down 4 frets. Well, technically we go down 3 frets, but 4 frets away from each other. 5, 2, 5, 2, same thing on the second string, 5, 2. On the third string, it goes 1 down, so it's actually 4, 2. Same thing on the fourth string, 4, 2. Same thing on the fifth string, 4, 2, and then back to the 5, 2. So if we were playing just a simple chord progression in key of A, and I wanted to lay a nice little solo riff, a lead line over my buddy who was playing that chord progression, I would put my ring finger on that 5th fret of the first string. And I would go through that form of the major pentatonic scale. All right? Amazing. Well, that is going, if you could start wrapping your head around this will start extremely unlocking the fretboard for you. It will give you an incredible tip to start soloing immediately and jamming with your buddies. So work on this for the next week if you have to, until you can immediately start playing this form of the major pentatonic scale over any major song ever in history. I'm trying to think of another song that I know. How about the Lumineers' Ho Hey? Ho! Hey! Ho! We've all heard this song, right? So I know that this song is in the key of C. Same process. Where is the C note on that first string? I happen to know it's right up here on the 9th fret. And that's how we use the major pentatonic scale, this one form, which sometimes you may have seen online is referred to as the box, is a very common terminology that people refer to these little patterns are, but it's just a pattern. And it's the same pattern that you can apply to every single major key ever in history. So that's going to do it for today's strum method session. We've looked at the major pentatonic, the one form that I want you to learn. This form, write it down, watch this video again, play it yourself, and then try it yourself. Find a song that's in a major key. Find what that key is. Find the root note on your first string. Start playing this pattern on your guitar over the top of that other song playing, and start training your ear to hear how those notes fit inside of that song. And this is going to be a great way for you to start getting a handle on how to solo with your guitar. So again, thanks so much for listening to our Strum Method sessions today. Hope this served you well. If you have any questions or comments, post in the link below, or you can always send me an email and I'll get back to you. Where I'd like you to practice for today's Strum Method sessions, go to the complete course. In the before even level 1, it says pre-course information. The very last bit of that has our Jam 1 video. Let's already start soloing. And I got actually an old video of me that I'm going to be updating here soon, but go to that video and it's of me teaching you how to play that form of the major pentatonic scale. Have a good day.